Teft could function. He had learned how to do that, how to cling to the normal parts of his life so that people wouldn't be too worried, so that he wouldn't be too undependable. He stumbled sometimes. That eroded trust to the point where it was hard to keep telling himself that he could handle it. He knew deep down that he'd end up alone again. The men of Bridge 4 would tire of digging him out of trouble. But for now, Teft functioned. He nodded to Malata, who was working the Oath Gate, then led his men across the platform and down the ramp toward Eurythero. They were a subdued group. Few grasped the meaning of what they'd learned, but they all sensed that something had changed.
Makes perfect sense. They can't be easy now, can it? Not in my storming life.
A winding path through the corridors and a stairwell led them back toward their barracks. As they walked, a woman appeared in the hallway beside Teft, roughly his height, glowing with soft blue-white light.
Storming Sprim.
He pointedly did not look at her.
You have words to speak, Teft.
Storm you.
You have started on this path. When will you tell the others the oaths you have sworn?
I didn't.
She turned away from him suddenly, becoming alert, looking down the corridor toward the Bridge 4 barracks.
What? Something wrong?
Something is very wrong. Run quickly, Teft!
He charged out in front of the men and scrambled to the door into their barracks and threw it open. The scent of blood immediately assaulted him. The Bridge 4 common room was in shambles, and blood stained the floor.
No!
Teft rushed through the room to find 3 corpses near the back. He dropped his spear and fell to his knees beside Rock, Bissig, and Eth. He felt at Rock's neck.
Still breathing. Still breathing. Remember Kaladin's training, you fool. Check the others!
More bridgemen joined him. He pulled off his coat and used it on Rock's wounds. The Horn Eater was sliced up good, a half-dozen cuts that looked like they'd come from a knife.
Bizzig's alive! Those storms, that's a shard blade wound. Eth. Storms.
Teft hesitated. Eth had been the one carrying the honor blade today. Dead.
They came with a blade.
Huio, who was better at field medicine than Teft, took over ministering to Rock. Blood on his hands, Teft stumbled back.
We need Renarin. It's Rock's best chance.
But where did he go? He was at the meeting, but left.
She looked toward Lauren, one of the other former messengers, fastest among them.
Run for the guard post! They should have a span read to contact the Oath Gate!
Bissig's eyes fluttered open. His entire arm was gray, and his uniform had been sliced through.
Bizzig! Storms, what happened?
Thought it was one of us. I didn't really look until he attacked. He had on a bridgeman coat.
Stormfather, did you just see the face?
Nobody I recognize. Short man, Alethi. Bridge 4 coat, lieutenant's knots on the shoulder.
Lopen nearby frowned, then glanced toward Teft. A Bridge 4 officer's coat worn as a disguise. Teft's coat, which he'd sold weeks ago in the market to get a few spheres. Teft stumbled back as they hovered around Rock and Bissig, then fled through a falling patch of Shamesprin into the hallway outside. Teft hid. He couldn't face the others, not after what he'd done. Rock and Bissig bleeding, Eth dead, the room destroyed, the honor blade stolen.
He had on a Bridge 4 uniform.
Teft scrambled through the rock hallways, passing Shamespren in bursts, looking for a place where nobody could see him. He'd done it again, to yet another group that trusted him, just like with his family, whom he'd sold out in a misguided attempt at righteousness, just like with his squad in Sadius's army, whom he'd abandoned for his addiction.
Now Bridge 4?
He tripped on an uneven bit of stone in the dark hallway and fell. He lay there. Would that he could find some place hidden and squeeze inside, never ever to be found again. When he looked up, she was standing there. The woman made of light and air, with curls of hair that vanished into mist.
Why are you following me? Go pick one of the others. Collect. Pick anyone but me.
He rose and pushed past her. She had barely any substance, and continued down the hallway. Light from ahead showed that he'd accidentally made his way to the outer ring of the tower, where windows and balconies overlooked the Oathgate platforms. He stopped by a stone doorway.
Teft.
You don't want me! I'm broken! Pick Lopen, Rock, Sigil! Damnation, woman,
Teft walked into the empty room.
Who sounds? Shouts?
He walked out onto the balcony. Below, figures with marbled skin flooded across one of the Oathgate platforms, the one that led to Kalinar. That was supposed to be locked, unusable. Scouts and soldiers began to shout in panic down below. Yorathiru was under attack.
Can you see it, Teft? Can you feel the words?
I'm broken.
Who isn't? Life breaks us, Teft. Then we fill the cracks with something stronger.
I make myself sick.
Teft, that's what the words are about.
Oh, collect.
The shouts, fighting, his friends.
Storm you! Be a man for once in your life. I will protect those I hate. Even if the one I hate most is myself.
Light exploded from the Oathgate platform in a wave. The fuse zipped into the air. A luminous wall expanded from the Oathgate platform in a ring, trailing a glowing afterimage. It faded to reveal an entire division of Alethi troops in Kholin blue standing upon the Oathgate platform. Then, like a herald from Lore, a man rose into the air above them, glowing white with stormlight. The bearded man carried a long silver shard spear with a strange crossguard shaped behind the tip. Teft, Knight Radiant.